I was looking at the PowerPoint, the one on the right. It looks like it's not finished on the upper right-hand corner. I guess I could look out my window. Is that the way it really turned out?
Okay, YouTube is fired up now.
All right. So then we will call the meeting to order. And Sean, do you want to take a quick roll call?
Rebecca Grill,
Present.
John Stiebel,
Here.
Mayor Devine.
Here.
Okay, everyone's present.
Okay, we'll move to item C. New and previous matters. Item 1 is a resolution to approve an agreement allowing the city to retain the services of artist Jason Watts to paint a mural at 6610 West Greenfield Avenue.
Recommend approval.
Second.
Okay, do you want to quick scoot through the?
Yeah,
There's
so
a few changes if you want to go through those.
this is, yeah, sure. So I had a slide deck that led up to this, but basically the jury selected, based on the three resolutions you see on the agenda, the jury selected, for 3 remaining sites, they selected a preferred mural for each. And the owners have veto rights. Obviously, it's their building. They've certainly agreed to follow this, community project, and we have a contract with them signed already. And so when we showed the murals to each of the owners, what we ended up doing here was just flipping the mural from the what you see on the 6610 and 6900. From what the jury selected, and the owners are very happy with that. So what you're going to see here is going to reflect that sort of flipping of the murals that the jury selected. So so this is the one that would be going on 6610 that John made a motion on.
And there was a second as well by Rebecca. Was there any discussion on this one?
It looks great, and Chris Paul is very excited about it, so that's very good.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carries. Then we can move on to item 2, which was the resolution to approve an agreement allowing the city to retain the services of artist David Miller to paint a mural at 6900 West Greenfield Avenue.
Thank you, Mayor. So yeah, this is the southern town center wall that sort of faces the plaza at the corner of 70th and Greenfield, and so the mural that would go there is this, kind of what you're seeing on your screen now. The jury thought this could be a good, the type of mural that people would maybe want to take a picture of in front of, and so. It actually works pretty well here on the first floor in front of a plaza area.
Do you know, Sean, if any discussion on those doors? Or I believe there was those are the windows that were 6, correct? That are.
I literally just I pasted it from the 6610 to this location because those two flipped. The artist is extremely excited about this location and is going to work around the doors, the door and the windows, and they can actually get a bigger mural out of this. It's going to be really nice.
Now there's supposed to be some new windows put in.
Yep.
Will it affect those new windows?
No, this will not. When the call to artists went out, the proposed plan was shown on that, and the artist has been shown that plan and is good to work around the windows that will be a part of this new facade.
Okay. Any other discussion or questions? Then I'll ask if anybody wants to make a motion to approve,
So moved.
and I'll second. If there is no other discussion, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Me.
Okay, 2-1, item carries. And lastly, or not lastly, but our next item is the resolution to approve the agreement to allow the city to retain the services of Dan Harrow to paint a mural on 750608 West Greenfield.
Thank you, Mary. This is a west-facing wall in downtown, a facade that was just improved. Dan Hero, as you can see, is a local artist, so that was one of the I guess nice factors with the jury selecting this mural, and so this is the selection for this site.
And Sean, my question on this one, do you know if Stacy talked to him a little bit about trying to brighten it up a bit?
She has, and he's willing to do that.
Okay, great. Any discussion on this item?
Recommend approval.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second. If there's no discussion, all in favor, or is there no discussion? I'm sorry. Is there any discussion?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Can we
Next
go
up is
back? I'm sorry. I just wanted to make a statement about the second one. I think that it would be more appropriate to have one that actually has people, that has a place where people could actually be part of the mural, since that is a perfect location for that. Certainly they can stand next to that one, but it's not really, like something where I guess I've seen like butterflies and things like that, where people actually are part of the art. I think this is a prominent, this is a prominent location. I don't find that to be an appropriate mural. I just wanted to say that. So.
Trying to look at it and see where somebody might be able to. I know what you're saying, and I know we had asked Artscape, or I'm sorry, Wallpapered City about that, and they said they just did not get a lot of submissions that had that kind of interactive vibe to them, unfortunately, because I know what you're saying. I've seen some really cool ones in other communities that a lot of people seek out, and you see it on social media a lot.
Can't we ask the artist if he can come up with something like that?
There would be a way you could sit on the alligator's nose next to the bird or something like that, or under the top hat.
We can
just to tell them what the concerns are and see if there's anything they can do about that.
Yeah, we can see that was
change the picture.
Just a way to make it more interactive or more natural for somebody to have a place to kind of take a picture.
Yeah, it just seems like a real waste of location where we could, especially like with those butterfly. I mean, people are going to be walking past here, and everyone sees this. So, if we're trying to create spaces, I would think that we'd want some other type of picture there.
Well, that's a different, if you're asking to change the mural altogether, that's a.
Well, just ask him if he doesn't object. Why not?
What am I asking?
If they can make it a little more interactive. I mean, it's
Okay.
a great opportunity for people to stand next to it and get their picture taken.
Yep, got it.
And if he says no, fine. But if he's a smart artist, he might be able to modify it to.
I don't remember how the artist described this one either, from when the jury went through it, but sorry, I got to reopen my agenda here. So next is item D, matters for discussion, miscellaneous Artscape projects and opportunities.
I just wanted I'll open the floor for everyone, but just wanted to let everybody know Allis Tool has reached out and is looking at creating a mural, and they had asked about, they want to do something about manufacturing history in West Allis, and they'd asked, if they could use the city logo. I did check in with John Maddie on that, and he said, when they get a sketch together, that communications would like to see it before, signing off on letting them, having them use the logo. But they've reached out a few times, and their artist, I think, is coming to town August 17th to start. That's not when my understanding is that's not when they're going to paint the mural, but that's when the artist is, I believe, just sort of sizing things up and such. And I don't know if they're going to ask the Artscape group for a grant or not at this point. I think they did ask about that early on. So I haven't heard much about the large 7-story mural at Allis Yards. I just want to let everybody know we haven't seen anything on it yet. I keep hearing things about it from Stacy at Wallpapered City because they've been working with Scott Yawk of Allis Yards, hired her. But just want to let everybody know we haven't seen anything on that yet. We've heard it's going to be an image of a person. I don't know much about it. I assume like an old Alice Chalmers worker or something like that. This kind of sounds like. And then I just had something on here. If there are ideas for future projects, major projects for the Artscape committee, just putting that out there.
Sean, getting back to the last item on Cobalt's wall. At one time, you talked about having that electronic.
Yeah, I think he just sent a random email about that. I don't think that he was ever seriously. I don't know.
Well, he was serious enough to ask if he could put advertising on there, and I responded that I wasn't excited about advertising, but he said, how about if they advertise just their events or their space for rent or their property? And that was the last I heard from him.
Yeah, I'm not
on that subject.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think that's the direction they're going on that wall, but although Scott's not said anything to me about it.
I thought the whole vision from the beginning on that mural was some type of nod to the workers at Alice Chalmers.
Yeah, and that's the latest I've heard as of a week or two ago from Stacy, that they had found an artist they liked and to sketch a person.
So I guess, assuming everything goes through on this initial Artscape project, do we have any thoughts looking forward? And because I saw a lot of people posting about that sculpture that's outside of the is it the federal building downtown, the federal courthouse, I think. At some point we should maybe talk about if there's money left in our Artscape budget, how we may want to utilize that next year, or kind of a long-term discussion, but just a thought.
I better go take a look at that.
Is that the one with like no heads?
It was like
brownish.
No, this was like a multicolored.
Oh.
It looked like a melting fry guy from McDonald's. It was kind of funky, but a lot of people had pictures of him or her.
Rebecca, are you talking about that 4 or 5 story building, the painting of a woman with no head?
No, there's a different one with actual like sculptures sitting on the ground. So I don't know where that is. Maybe it's not even in our city. I did have a question about the Allis Yards mural. Where exactly would that be going? Would it be like if you're at 70th and Greenfield heading north, you would see the alligator and that one?
Yes.
Well, then I would further think that we should
No, because the alligator's on the east side of Chris
No,
Paul's.
it's facing, no, no.
So you wouldn't see them both. From
Oh.
70th and Greenfield, you would not see them both.
That's true. It would be tough too.
Yeah, in fact, it would be really tough to see any of them together in the same vista, even if you're going westbound on Greenfield.
I'm sure if you stood on the southeast corner of 70th and Greenfield, you might be able to see them both. But
Excuse me. I take that back. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Chris Paul's building. But yeah,
Right,
you probably see both.
And I mean, I wasn't on the jury, but the jury talked about this. And actually, I mean, I think it was one of the things where they didn't want to do another, continue to play into the history of West Allis over and over. I think that was actually one of the deciding factors. It was my recollection. I was just listening in though.
And I don't know if you can.
not-
So I'm sorry to change the subject, but this is the. If you can see it, this was the one in Milwaukee. I don't know if you can see my camera.
Oh, that's cool.
Funky, yeah. I'm sorry, Rebecca.
I was just gonna say, I mean, if the Allis Yards, if they're set on setting it to a nod to the history of West Allis, or could we ask them to look at something that would be more cohesive with something that's on 70th Green and Greenfield? And if we're set on the alligator, I would definitely not want that to be the case, but I just really think that's not an appropriate photo, and especially if we're going to be able to see both of them at the same time.
So that's interesting. I hadn't thought about seeing both of those at the same time.
I mean, the jury did talk about that, so. And they actually, I think going back to the objectives of the, the community mural project that was created, I think that all played into their selections, but.
It
I'm gonna
was
have to-
dramatically different images.
Yeah. All right. Anything else then? I believe that wraps up our agenda. So I'll ask if there's a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're all adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Could you stay on?
Thanks.
When we're done?
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you.
One sec, let me.
Yeah, take your time. I just wanted to go over the sound thing, see if we get that fixed.